Yeah, War Thunder, sort of. Well, at least for a bit, anyway. Um, yeah, I've not been playing it over the last few days because don't really feel like it or anything. Got other stuff to check out as well. So, yeah, I had a break for a few days. Now, there's been a few developments in those few days. Gaijin have been busy doing patches. And by patches, I mean weird shit, basically. Some of it's actually, it makes sense, because it didn't make sense beforehand. And some of it doesn't make any sense, which is just typical Gaijin. Because they really don't know what they're doing all the time. Right, so first things first, I watched a video on this earlier on today by Many Miles Away, I think it was, about the MBT70, KPZ70 change. Now this is basically Gaijin at their worst, really, at the end of the day, because of a couple of reasons. Many Miles puts a great case across for what they need to do, but they won't be doing it anytime soon. No, Gaijin, this is Gaijin, this is the way they do things. So the reload rate on the MPT-70 has been reduced to 1 round every 10 seconds, down from 1 round every 6.5 seconds, which is quite a bit of a change, if I'm completely honest. Reason for that is because the Americans use a different loading system. However, they also had a 4-man crew, not a 3-man crew as they currently have in game. So their change is a bad one, because they've not changed the MBT-70 at all. I mean, why would they? They've only just found out, that it shouldn't have the weapons that it does have, because of reasons. Or weapons rather, ammunition loading, so on and so forth. And yeah, that's a 3-man crew. So you can see that they've not changed anything as far as that's concerned. It's still a 3-man crew, it's just got a crippled reload rate now because reasons. Because Gaijin can't be asked to change things, or at least do things properly. So we've got that little change. Now then, we've also got another change. Well, actually it affects 2 vehicles, this one. And they're both in that lineup right there. The M60A2 and the M551. Both of these vehicles were changed a couple of days ago, and they had their reload rates buffed for ATGM fire in particular. Previously, it had been knocked back quite a substantial amount. The reload rate for them ATGM before was over 30 seconds. Just the ATGM, that was, nothing else. The same thing went for the M60A2, which basically meant that they were both crap. And Gaijin's reasoning for that was because they wanted to balance them in line with other ATGM launchers. Yeah, which doesn't make any sense at all, because none of the other ATGM launchers fire the guns through that, or through the gun barrel, or have a reload rate of over 30 seconds. So what happened there is, yeah, beyond questioning really, because they've already changed it, and changed it back to 15 seconds for a reload for the ATGM. Now then, there's a bunch of other small little changes that they've done, and a bunch more small changes that they've done today. Again, some of them are vague, some of them are referenced. Yeah, it's typical Gaijin stuff. This is the kind of stuff that I expect with them. This is what I expect with War Thunder in particular, because of the way that they develop this game. I'm expecting, I mean, to be honest, it's also the reason why I've not done a review on the MBT-70, T-64, Chieftain Mark 10, or any of the other new vehicles in the game, including any of the French ones for that matter, or anything else for, I don't know, the last 6 months or so. The reason for me not doing that is basically because these guys keep on changing things, whether it be for balancing reasons or historical data reasons. Either way, because of that, I don't see the point in reviewing any of the vehicles in game as they currently stand, because they will change them. 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, however many months down the line, they will change this stuff. And because of that, I kind of refuse to do reviews of any of the new shit they put in. Like, I could do a review on that, for example. I could take it out for a spin, fly it around, have a good time with it. But 2 months down the line, they may change the flight model for it. They may change the belts on it. They may change the battle range for it. All of these factors change the review. So I don't see the point in wasting my time doing reviews for stuff now when they're going to change it in the future. Yeah, that's the reason why you won't be getting many reviews out of me for this game. Now then, one last little change, which isn't announced in the patch notes, which is a stealth change. There's something else that they like to do as well. Is this. When you go into a tank battle now, a RB tank battle, possibly even a similar tank battle, maybe even aircraft as well. I'm honestly not sure about aircraft, but with tanks, I've seen this and witnessed it. And there you go. Countries versus countries. That's the new feature right there. This change basically means that when you're in a tank battle, when you press tab, previously you would be able to see who you were fighting against. So you'd be able to see, right, so it's the British and Americans versus the Germans. Or it's the British, Americans, Japanese versus the Germans and Russians. That kind of thing. Now you can't. They've removed the race flags, or notifications if you want to call it that, from the score tabs. So the only way you can tell is to actually, you know, look at what's on your team and then figure out, wait a minute, we're missing a couple of nations here. Why have they done this? No answer. No answer at all. I'm going to just double check, because I did see someone ask them this question on their website yesterday. However, this is Gaijin we're talking about, so that question is probably removed, I'd guess. Let's have a quick look. No answer at all. That doesn't surprise me, to be honest, because this idea of removing countries' flags from tank RB or plain RB, I'm not sure about plain RB, but I've seen it in tank RB. Why have they done this? My guess is, well, one main reason, if I'm completely honest, and it's this one. Well, actually, there's two reasons I should point out. One is this one, right here. When I say one, I mean two. These two, those two vehicles. Because there's only two of them, I'm guessing people are laughing at them. You know, anyone using those vehicles, they're getting laughed at in game, I'd guess. Secondly, and this is the more important one, which I think is the reason why they've done it, is basically because people were probably leaving games because they were fighting against Germans and Russians. Because that is still a thing in this game. And knowing that, I've seen people rage quit out and also complain about it constantly, about having these kind of battles. I complain about it as well, because it's bullshit. But Gaijin, on the other hand, they don't think it's bullshit. They think it's perfectly reasonable to have two arch enemies on the same side fighting against, you know, other people. Yeah, this is War Thunder. When you play realistic battle and you get non-realistic battle, or an unrealistic battle with unrealistic lineups and unhistorical opponents. So yeah, that word there, realistic, is starting to lose its meaning in this game. It started losing its meaning when they changed it, because originally when I started playing this game, this used to be called, or realistic battle, it used to be called historical battles. Yeah, they changed that to this, realistic battles, and I'm guessing they're going to change that as well to something else soon, Tim.